Okay, hello everyone.
Hey. So, hello everyone, and my name is Swati, and I work as a social media manager, marketing specialist, community manager. So, yeah, I do my internship here. I just started my internship 1 month ago, and I will just give a small introduction what CeMeWE is and what we do, and what you will gain from it, and how we do everything, our events and stuff. So CeMeWE is a European funded project, and we have our partners in Finland, Estonia, and Sweden. And what we do is we help migrant women to find jobs in European countries. We do it by giving one-to-one mentoring, or we do it by giving them skills where they can use it to find the jobs, or we will host events and workshops where they will gain the skills which will be used for their work. So that's what we basically do, and we currently have nearly 20 interns with us, and everybody has like different teams, the communication, events, and we separate everyone into different teams, and we have our documents registered and everything is perfect. And basically that's it, what we do and how we are doing everything. And today we will have our Figma workshop with Linda, and we are glad to have you.
Thank you, lovely to be here.
Yes, and we will also have our future events, which is LinkedIn events and DevOps workshop. DevOps workshop is where you learn DevOps from two Accenture workers. They work in Accenture, a company, and they will give you first-hand experience how to use DevOps and work in DevOps. And we will have our next event called LinkedIn event, and there will be Ilse, and
It will be also like online.
Yeah, there will be also an online registration. So like online participation. If you guys can't make it in real life, you can also join in Zoom and make it to the event. And I feel like Ilse is really, really great person. People pay money to come to her and then get our tips, but we can get it for free. So I hope everyone joins our next events too. That's it. Thank you.
And we will give an applause.
It's lovely to be here. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be here with you. We're gonna touch on Figma and hopefully learn some nice, either new things for some you might already know how to get around Figma, but yeah, let's see how it goes. On this note, I wanted to say, do I just share my screen?
Whatever options
Let's
guys can do.
share. Oh my days! Now I need to allow the.
Sometimes tricky with Apple computers.
I feel like I should have done that before.
Everyone can say hi in the chat, like say hello if you're not in person, so you can
I need to
either
join
write
it again.
if you're here. And thanks for joining also from abroad. Very nice. And
It's okay. I think.
You can say hi.
Hi.
they can see you.
I'm back. Share. All right. Can everyone see the screen? Yeah? Awesome. Let me just.
Also in Zoom, I can see.
Yeah, that's where. Later. Okay, I do not want to see myself, so I'm just gonna minimize everything.
Yeah, but we see you and they see
That's
you.
perfect. Cool. So yeah, design fundamentals and Figma basics. Just before I start, actually, I just wanted to see how many of you have worked in Figma, even just for a little bit. So there are some cool, and I can't see who's done that online, but that's great. You know, we all have to start somewhere, and Figma it can be a complicated tool if you want to do a lot of things, but it can be also a very easy tool if you want to just start from somewhere. It is. All right, so let's start our design journey. It really doesn't matter where you start from, and I really urge you to start from wherever you are. It's your journey. My journey started about like 6 or 7 years ago. I was in a job that I wasn't particularly happy with. and it was in a corporate world, nothing to do with creativity. Although I had come from a creative background and music and creative arts, it was never really a design as a tangible thing. And a friend called me and said, hey, we're looking for someone for a retainer as a graphic designer. And I was like, yes, I'm going to do it. I had no clue. I had never worked on Illustrator. I just sat down, I had a few weeks, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. My first task was to create hundreds of little animated people for animations. Mind you, that was at the time when no templates were available for me. I was broke. So I was literally drawing all the shapes and starting from very, from the very basics. So I'm telling you this. If I look back 7 years ago, I thought, oh my God, I can't do it, but you all can. I'm not even an artist or some here are architects, but we can learn everything. So it's just be open to those small little steps and we'll get there. Just don't be afraid. So I just really hope that today we can create a nice, safe place for us to learn. No judgments, fail, get up, continue, ask each other, and then I'm pretty sure we're going to succeed. Okay. Feel like there's a little lag on every time I want to go further. So yeah, I already actually covered this, take small steps. And another great message, sorry, this introduction is going to be a lot about setting the stage, but I'm sure I'm not the only person that sometimes suffers with thinking that you have to be perfect in order to show your work. Don't think that way. Like, it's easy to say don't think that way because I have been there. I have done a creative work in isolation, which now I see is the wrong thing to do at all. And I was like, I'm not going to deliver until it's perfect. And that was probably the worst thing I could have done because you can spend so much time going in the wrong direction. But if you just stop, accept, and have the humility to, get the feedback, you're like, okay, I can improve this and I can then go on the right way. So let's keep the perfections away and just try. And today as well, the aim is not to create a perfect poster today. Today we're learning the tools to be able to implement those things so we can make the poster at some points better. And yeah, I added this quote because I don't know what you can all see it. What do you think it really means?
It means that you can create a design even if you think it's bad. It's a base, and from that base you can improve and change anything that you would like to change to make it better.
Yeah. It's a great attitude, exactly. But also on top of that, it's more like anything in life. Design is design is design is design. Like a designer Joe Natoli said, if you make something, it's the intention that counts. Every color and everything, actually, everything you've added on the screen is a choice you've made. So even if you kind of think you didn't design it at all, it was still a choice you made. So now with these tools, we can try and add these little mini changes to make it better, little by little. And again, I'm far from being there, but trying my best along the way. All right, so yeah, follow curiosity and humility. How many of you are actually like quite nervous about today? Is there anyone or you're all, oh, nice. Sorry, it's not nice that you're nervous. I'm nervous as well, but it's perfectly okay. Like it's okay. We're here. If at any point you want me to stop, just raise your hand, or I'm sorry, I can't really monitor many people online, but I'm pretty sure someone's going to reach out if there's something that you'd like me to know. I'm just going to move a little further. I have little notes just in case, but I think this is a good little intro. And
Comment, hello,
nice.
and thanks for organizing such events, and also that one person is very new to it, and it's totally normal. Most of us are new to everything.
No, yeah, we'll get there.
If you also comment, feel free to add some chat comments as well.
Fantastic. Well, lovely. So yeah, today actually another thing, as I said, like the design principles, we're gonna learn them because they really do serve like a this universal language. Think about it as a actually not a compass, as a map. When we work on it, it's something to look back at and implement in your designs, but it doesn't need to be just that formula. Don't ever forget, like, although design is not necessarily just art, you can bring your curiosity, your designs, your experimentation. Sorry, that sounded weird. But all of that you can bring in and just kind of refer back to those design principles, because once you know them, you know how to break them when it makes sense. As in any kind of thing that you're studying, some might be in like business. Sometimes you just take a risk. Sometimes it pays, sometimes it doesn't. But again, go on, try. That's the best. And sorry for the ums. So this is the way our workshop is going to go today. Not entirely sure how long this takes because I haven't kind of experimented to see how long in time it's going to go. But we'll try and get through all of these things. But if not, I'll cut some things out and just briefly touch them when we're in a different place. So you've just pretty much heard me get through the introduction. And I do hope that this is the key message that you do take away. I will proceed without adding the super pressure of being perfect. Be brave. And I think that shows that you're here already today. Thank you. And because I love quotes, just another one just to reflect on. Cool. Does anyone have any comments, any questions? Yeah.
Yes, I just wanted to ask you which platform did you use to make the presentation?
I used FIGMA for the purpose of this particular presentation, but I did use, those are not my bespoke designs. I used this wonderful artist, which I just forgot the name, some of the elements, but I worked with them and amended them to fit this presentation in Illustrator, because that is, as we were talking earlier, that's the platform I feel the most comfortable in, not at the very beginning though. Cool. All right. Orientation. I haven't even looked at my notes. That's probably a good thing. Either I'm rushing through things are sinking in. Cool. Let's jump into Figma. Now, do you all have your free profile or a way to get into the program, or not? Not everyone. Okay, okay. We can. I can after that. Yeah. After that as well, since you're in person, you can come around here and we can look through over here as well. So I'm gonna open. To be honest, this is going to be a very like overview of what's what. Actually, I need to. Let's do. Actually, that's for later. So cool. Now I'm gonna bring this out just in case. So this isn't a full training program. Like right now, before we go into the creation of the posters, I just want you to kind of familiarize yourself with Figma. So this is literally just going to be for a few minutes, but as you can see, I have opened it on my application, but some of you might access it through web browser. Is there a split? How many people are accessing through browser? Most of you. Okay, it might look a tad bit different, but actually it's probably so minor that you'll definitely see everything. So let's start with the basics. So the top bar, as you can see, as with every program, you can just go between the tabs. Ooh, no, little things are popping up and I can't get back to the tab. But in that case, there is a shortcut which can get you from, ooh. All right, I have a Mac, but if you have other computers, I use Command 1, 2, 3 to go between the tabs. But if you have Control, then Control 1, 2, 3. If you have tabs, but it might not be important for you now, but that's just something to keep in mind. Once you get better at Figma, sometimes you'll have to like get something from one file. So that's just a quick way to get through. So yeah, the top bit is quite explanatory. If you want to open a new file, I will drag it down. There's a lot of things. Oh, I can't access it. You just click this and that will create a new file. Or you can also select on the top left corner to have the little Figma icon, go in file, and then choose whether it's a new design file. In this particular situation, it is a new design file. Or I can go to this home and then click create. And I have a paid version of Figma, and so it also might look a little bit different from yours. But here's where you can access all the different things like design, FigJam, slides. These new things I don't really know yet. Buzz, I think that's something to do with social media. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure in about 5 minutes you'll be much better at it than I am. But okay, let's get back to here. The central canvas is where we work on. The background you can change. I know there are a lot of people that actually work in dark mode. You can change it, but I find it really difficult to see the contrast in dark mode, so I go here. But if you're working on like a white poster or something like that, you might want to have like a different background. So you change it to like dark or whatever works. But normally it's on like, let's say F5, F5, F5. It's just a little off-white. On the left-hand side, you can see you have different page options. And this is another way to organize your files. So these are the posters we're going to work on later on. But I've organized them in different pages so I'm not overwhelmed with everything on the same canvas. On the bottom part, which is barely visible here, can you see? Oh, you can. Awesome. These are the main tools. That's why the Figma have added them as like the quick access. So this is move. Basically, I'll just create something random. I don't know. Let's go. So move tool, shortcut V. See, as you hover over, it actually gives you the little shortcut. And it's cool because it's a tool that it always defaults to. But basically, if you touch it, you can move things around. Blah, blah. Everything moves around. You can undo the same way as in every other program. Command, Control Z. So if you get something wrong, no problem. Just go back. That's easy. Another useful tool, since we're here, which is not right on the bottom tool, is hand tool, short for H, or just press a space bar. It does a similar thing, but without moving all the items that are on the screen. And that is important. For example, if you're a lot of you are working together and you're on the program and you can see these cursors moving up and down and you want to move across, but you don't want to accidentally catch a little item and drag it away, because that will maybe you don't notice it and then someone else is working and be like, oh, where's my stuff? So just make sure to press hold space and then you can move it without elements actually moving along. And on the right sidebar, I will show you how to do all of those things. Hello. This is where you have most of the things to amend whatever you're working on. And we will get there shortly. It basically has typography, you can position things, you can align things, all of this. And shortly we will learn how to create a style so we can reuse those things easily. These are, oh yeah, I jumped to this side, but I never finished the main bar. This frame tool is probably one that you're going to use a lot. Frames are awesome because you can add, yeah, exactly. Frames are nice things because they give you a lot more things to work with. For example, I could create a group. Let's see, I don't know. I will align it here. And right here, I will press Command G, and this is a group. So as a group, I can move it around. And when I look in the sides, this is where the layers stay. There's my text, there's my rectangle, but it's in a little group. sitting within a frame. But if I have this and change it to frame, you can see there's a lot more to work with. In the future, when you feel comfortable, you can put constraints. We'll later look at auto layout. Those are all things that frames offer, groups don't. And just if you notice, there's also a bit called section. So for example, see it as like a little, like onion. The section is the big thing that you're working with. You add all the frames and all the groups inside to organize it. Then frame is like your main container that you work in. And the groups just help you keep things organized or move things when they're chunked together. All right, I think I've gone through this bit. These tools we're rarely gonna, not rarely, today we're not really going, good. This is just a background. You can export it as you wish. You can export it as PNG, JPEG, SVG, PDF. But they're like a, yeah, at the moment, because if you double click, you can start like changing the little edges and create something. So yeah, vector. Yes?
How does
No. It's
nice. Kind of similar, but I think not so advanced. Here I see there are more like ways to structure and organize your work. Canva is more basic. Is that true?
I've actually never really worked with Canva, but I do know designers that work on like quick things. So basically, you answered the question rightly. You can, how many of you have worked in Canva? Cool. So it's basically like an easier version to make a quick visual. Whereas like Figma, you can get there, you can make a quick visual, but it also like has this continuity. So maybe today we won't see it as much, but you can create a whole design system. So you can now create websites, you can now create applications, all of it within one program. So you can draw it, customize it, build it, whereas Canva will help you work on this one poster, but won't necessarily, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know actually whether you can save some things in Canva as like components and stuff that you can use later on. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that might be a nice alternative for some that, like, for example, if you find Figma to be a bit too complicated to start with, you can continue work on Canva and then just slowly learn the tools here in Figma to do the same and more. But initially, Figma wasn't really done for that kind of design work. It was more for like what Adobe XD used to be. How can I like put together a nice high fidelity, low fidelity prototype for a whole website or a whole product? Yeah, but that's a great question. Thank you.
I have a question. I am not able to use the move function. How did you make a square with the move function?
You're not able to move.
Yes, how did you move I'm not able to make a square at least.
Okay, so to make a square, let's see this little square that I'm hovering over.
Okay.
You can press R.
Okay.
And then if you press R, it'll give you this little cursor. And now just drag out a shape.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
Can you? And then
Yes,
if it goes back, and now you should be able to do it.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, no worries. Actually, whilst we're here, it's another really good thing. So when you draw shapes, as you can see, like I just drew a shape, and well, it happened to be pretty good, like ratio, but like it can be like this. But if you need it to be a perfect square, just hold down Shift. Now we'll go. Select the rectangle, hold down Shift, and C is going to be a perfect square. And the same goes for all the other things. Pen tool, we are definitely not going to look at today, but basically drawing, and you can round the circles. Here are some additional options, but today we're not going to use it. Text tool, we're definitely going to move. So if you click on it, you can just click on the frame and say, oh, okay, actually, I'm just going to type something. You can see, or if you press the text tool and then click and drag, it'll give you a bigger box that you now can continue writing. We will look at text boxes a little later as well, because this is like the beginning end. Also, obviously, you can little comments, which is awesome, very helpful. But the one thing I really want to show you is this little question mark in a corner. At the times when you forget or don't know what to do, click on it. It gives you like keyboard shortcuts, so you can always access them here. It's really useful. And another thing that Figma is really good at is help tool. So there are different ways to access help. Is up here. Oh, not up here. Sorry, mine is. See, I never really go into help on that way. Actions, yeah, it's now called. But there's a shortcut, Command K or Control K. See, you can see it. So this opens up this little tool. So I can go like, oh, rectangle. And of course, it doesn't really show it now. Oh, because yeah, I spelled it incorrectly. But see, rectangle, and then it kind of shows you where that tool is, or you can just draw it. You can, it's just a good thing to know. I actually use it quite a bit, not necessarily for finding the tools, because it will, oh yeah, go on.
Yeah, I want to ask how to make my Figma in lighter version and dark mode. I want to make it lighter.
Ooh, shall we ask Control K? Light, use dark mode. Ooh. Because I knew it was under the Figma icon somewhere, but it would take time to go up there and in. So Command or Control K. Cool. Oh, I find it really interesting, really difficult to do dark mode, so I'm gonna use light mode. This is also a place where we can add plugins and widgets. I'll go into it a little later, because there are a few that I would like to introduce you to, such as icons, images, so you don't have to like drag things in from your computer. You can just go in and do it there. All right, I actually think I've pretty much done the little orientation now, so why don't we jump out back to the presentation? I promise we will get back to Figma, and we're actually going to work on it, but there are a few things that I would like to, ooh, sorry. Preparation. All right. Section 3. Are we ready?
Yes.
If at any point it gets too dry or something, please tell me. I am, as I was saying to some of you before, I've never led a workshop like this. I've only ever worked one-on-one, and I do think that I'm probably better at that than big public speaking. So please guide me as much as I will try and guide you at some of them. So far, so good. Awesome. All right, preparation. So you've probably heard it like many things, like UX in particular. It's a problem-solving discipline. But design in general, like, it's not just random. So always keep in mind that it is made for someone. Design has art influences and everything, of course, but it is there to solve someone's problem, to be purposeful. So that's something to always keep in mind. And empathy is similar to different kinds of experiences, be it customer experience, UX experience, whatever. Empathy is an important part of it. You can't really, you're not removed from the people that are going to see the poster. So although you might sit in your chair and think like, oh, I need to do a little poster that only few people might see, it's still the intention. So try and make the most of it. Think about the person that's going to go past your poster and be like, oh, I like this. Like, the design is seamless. I get what you're saying. So hopefully we'll get there. Well, 100% we'll get there today. Yeah, another quote. There's going to be plenty. It's fine. But this is, we're only going to touch on accessibility briefly. There's going to be a nice plugin that I'm going to share. But inclusion. So yeah, designing with purpose. I might take the notes out here because this is important, and I want to be like quite clear on it. So when it comes designing with purpose, you need to know why your design exists. So you can't just go like, oh, I'm just going to put these things together. Really ask yourself and ask the person that is asking you to make the poster. What's the key message? Who are going to be the people that are going to see it? What's their context? All those things matter. And yes, you can make a functional poster not going deep into all of those details, but it will really make a difference if you do. And when it comes to designing with purpose, brief is a great thing. It's always necessary. So if you're, whoever gives you the task of creating a poster, ask them for a brief. And if no brief is given, just sit down and try and make it yourself. It's going to be like a little compass to make sure that what you're creating is going to be good. And also why purpose actually, for me, is really important. Recently, I think, especially over the last 5 years, I worked in a digital education. And a lot of my work was with NGOs, was lucky to work with places like UNICEF, United Nations, Save the Children. And sometimes they wouldn't necessarily have the budget to go and make these massive changes. So we would really need to work on like little adjustments, not a full redesign. But designing with purpose when it comes to accessibility is making sure that whatever is on the poster is bright enough for people to be seen, that when you, less so for posters unless you're posting it on Instagram or different programs, you can add alternative text to make sure that whoever's going through the platform with screen readers, they can actually know what's on the poster, even if they can't see it. So there's that level of purpose within a design as well. And that's where the quotes on inclusion also comes in. And it doesn't just serve a certain part of the population. How many of us actually, I don't know, actually a good question, I think, is how many of you use things like, if you go on a website, you might increase the font because you can't see it, or increase a poster, or go to a dark theme because it's gentler on your eyes, or bring down like the saturation when you're at night, or the contrast and stuff like that. All of those things are inclusivity. And that's really, really important. For example, I find it really difficult to memorize information when I read, when I just read from the paper, it's easier, but from computer. So often I would put like speak option where an AI voice will read it out for me, because I find it easier. And that's as well as just making sure that your designs are inclusive. Just something to think about. I know we're going to talk about it more, but I will go on. So design and art. Any of you, I know I briefly said it, but what would you say the biggest difference is, or you have maybe some examples?
I think designing is more like you trying to implement something, as in like trying to either change an existing design or trying to break the color scheme, while the art is when you create something from the talent, or like painting or something like that. I know those two sound very similar to each other, but there's a big difference between them.
Exactly. Yeah. How many of you? Yeah, go on.
Technical, not exactly technical. But
Yeah.
there's more things involved than art. I think it's just more like
Exclusive.
yeah, like an expression. Design is also
Perfect.
expression, but I think technical elements are also included in that.
Yes.
And for me, I feel like design has a target group, like it has a receiver,
Yes.
but for the art, it's like more of an expression of the author. Whereas
Yes.
meanwhile, designer is something dedicated for someone, for targeted group.
That's like
yeah.
purpose, I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. See, you've done the presentation for me. I don't even need to teach you. You know it all. Yeah. Yeah. No, this is great. This is perfect. And I think this is also like a keeping with the room theme, a great example. You wouldn't necessarily want to go to the space, well, in that beautiful, like brackets. That's art. You want to make sure that it's designed and thought through. All the things are, you know, kind of solved. And there's this one little thing that always I have in mind. I know you're an architect, but if you were asked in what kind of house you would like to live, in the one that's drawn by Picasso or the one that's done by an architect, I think like it'd be pretty fun to live in a house of like Picasso drawing, but it's that free expression. There's no limit. It's like your inner wild, just, you know, just do what you feel. Design does have purpose, you know, that you're not, I briefly mentioned you're not doing it in isolation, but in this way, like not that you're not doing it alone. There are so many elements that you need to keep in mind. So yeah, those were awesome answers. I hope everyone online is also good. Are they good? Yeah.
Put an emoji if you know, like the Zoom has usually some thumbs up, but I can see in chat
everyone's good.
there was a yes.
Yes,
At
cool.
some point there was a yes. Thank you.
Good. Yeah, and I know this is another quote, but there are actually a couple of questions that I added here to answer. Like when it comes to design, here's something to help you see more clearly, like you're guiding, and that is a big purpose. Whereas arts, this is how I see the world, and that's awesome too. I wish I was an artist. Yeah, every time I think I'm going to draw something, I think, oh, this beautiful person, and then I draw a stick figure. So I know. So yeah, we already kind of, I'm going to go through this accessibility bit rather quickly, but I just wanted to put it at the back of your mind. It's a massive topic, and if you're interested and we have time after, I'm very happy to talk about it, but we will, like, part of the design principles also include a lot of things that actually aid accessibility in design. So we'll come back to that. But yes, design has to work for everyone. We already went through that, and accessible design is also a good design. Yes. I hope you agree.
Agree.
Agree, yeah. So yeah, it's functional, beautiful, and impactful. Cool. So yeah, but these are, this is like the accessibility principle core. Just wanted to put it out there. So if you ever hear, like, see these 4 letters together, that's what it stands for. And you can just like read it. I'm not gonna go into details just now because I want to see, you know, we're almost halfway through. So I do want to get us to FIGMA, but along the way, I will just make sure I say some things when we work on text, on color, how we can make sure that these things are done. We briefly touched on the fact on adding alternative text when you post something online, so people with screen readers can read it. We briefly spoke about contrast. Things should be seen. How many times have you seen like these design fails where there's like this big, big message, and the most important thing is like smaller and like a 20% like tiny, and you're like, oh, it's like you're trying to give me something positive, but like you know, it's difficult. And I think somewhere further down the, oh yes,
Practically blind.
no, but I had a surgery, but I was the same. I would be like these were like the longest for long time, but there's actually something that we're going to look at that is a squint test, which is a genuine thing, blur/squint test in design, where, for example, we don't really have any posters, but if you look at a poster, you just kind of squint and you should see like what are the, oh nice, oh perfect, yeah. So if you squint, like who's further in the room, if you look at the design, what are the main things if you squint that pop out?
I think the logo for me, European Union. I don't know why.
Yeah, and as you can see, it's like that because the contrast on it is big and like, well, strong, like it's solid, strong color. Whereas like the light blue and the white might be a bit gentler on the eyes, so it doesn't like demand your attention as much as some of the darker things, like it empowers women. that's definitely the one that goes like, ooh, it's super popular. Because that's the cover, like the color of it. It just pops out on that contrast according to like other things. So it'll be like at some point we'll take a little break and then maybe like I would invite you to walk around and just see different posters and kind of. Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, the way the QR. Fantastic. Yeah, well, I can't read that, but yeah, click. I can see the title and the QR code. Those are the main two things, isn't it? Like what's happening? Oh, yeah, exactly. So yeah, this is just tonight. I'm jumping around from presentation slide to presentation slide. So if I repeat myself, then shut me up. But yes, this is something to look back at. We will kind of go around it. And yeah, again, can't say it enough. Start your poster designs with people and purpose, not persons, but also with people in mind. That's why I said person, sorry, not pixels. Again, like design, it's really easy, especially when you do well and you know all of these little tools, you can make something epic. And you're like, oh my God, this is so cool. Yeah,
Glitter, rainbow.
Yes, but yeah, but does it serve a purpose? One of the difficult things sometimes working with clients in digital education in particular, sometimes you go like, oh, yeah. You think like, oh, I could do this, but they want it a certain way, sometimes better, sometimes worse, but you're a designer, you have to like, okay, I'm not the target audience. Like you have to think who's the person that's going to see it. And it's that thing, don't get too attached. It's perfectly fine to just be like, okay, I know I can do it, but it's okay. It needs to be different, and that's okay. Even if you sometimes in your heart don't agree, that's part of the thing that comes with the role. But I think, again, it's in any life thing, really. Sorry. Yeah, one more. But how do you understand this? People ignore design that ignores people.
All across the
Yes.
Yes. That's very true. There's all kind of designs in the world, especially when I work in fashion, and when you look at like bags or clothes,
Yeah.
and then you look at those clothes or bags or things, and then you somehow like swipe them away because they're like somebody wanted to make money out of it. They didn't care about like how
Yeah.
they wear. And the minute there's some designer who puts something funny or some like human touch, very nice thing. Like
Gravitate.
yeah, like you have a handle that has like a hand footprint.
Yeah.
Or something.
It's like a little personal touch, like you can see
Like a feel.
thoughtful, yeah, thoughtfulness.
Like the person has thought how you're gonna use it, how you're gonna
Feel it, yeah.
Yes, and if the feeling is not nice, it starts to weigh really easily.
True, because again, like even in print design and web design, it's not necessarily just about how you see things. Like we have different senses. It's the whole body experience. And trust me, how many of you have seen some sort of poster or like a book, or maybe a teacher gives you like a printout of this like crazy academic article where there's like a lot of everything and nothing's chunked and you're like, oh my God. So you can't even read it. So you ignore it. You go like, this is too much. I can't deal with it. Personally, like for me, those kind of things are really difficult when it comes to text and stuff. So yeah, this is a great quote to keep in mind. All right, actually, we're kind of getting through nicely. Yeah, good pace. I think we'll actually like, I hope I haven't like gotten rid of some, actually, the last thing on the quotes. I've made a little note. If we ignore people, or design becomes noise, so design for them. Cool. And that's exactly what you said. Oh, I'll take a photo. Cool. Do you have any questions or any thoughts? Anything?
I feel like everything has been explained so well that I don't even know what to ask.
You feel like I know this now.
But sorry.
Makes sense. Yeah, I think it's simple. also when you explain something, it has to be simple enough so everyone understands it. So also like 5-year-old.
Yeah.
It works when it's so simple and the rules are kind of simple.
And I love that you like kind of like gave this like whole like talk without jumping straight into like
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I think it's such a nice talk.
Oh, nice.
I
Well,
love the presentation.
oh, yay, nice. I will find the name of that artist and make sure I add it as a little thank you note.
Love the because we know what's
Yeah.
going to happen next.
Yes. But that is again similarly like you know, I have some experience now with the learning design, though I'm definitely not a teacher, but I've worked with learning designers, and even things like that. When, for example, you create events and stuff like that, people like to be aware of what's happening. If I was to go through this entire presentation and you had no stopping point of like how many more slides is she gonna, how many more quotes is she gonna hold, like show, like then you just don't know. But now everything's kind of chunked, and it gives this reassurance. And the same thing again, like even in poster design, it will reassure you when things are properly chunked. Yes. Hi.
Okay. So I just have one question. I hope I didn't miss this part.
No. I'll have a little quick drink.
My question is like you mentioned about the simplify the design and like the vision of the design. But at the beginning of our like future as a designer or like at least junior designer, it might be a little bit complicated for us because like we like this and we add this, we like this and like we put everything together. So in this part, like how do you have any suggestion how we can improve our like design perspective? Because practices, yes, it's a key point, but do you have any extra suggestions?
Yes, and actually we're going to get to it when we get to composition, definitely, because I've definitely been there when I'm like, oh, I want to add this element, I want to add this element, and then I don't know whether like this text is equally important as this text, so I add it all in. But even when you have a lot of information, one level is just adjusting. So again, like when you read something and lines are misaligned, like it creates chaos. But you can have a lot of elements if they're all nicely aligned on one side, if the themes are chunked together, like in a website. Imagine if you went into a website to buy clothes and like each box for your jean choice would be different, a different color. So there are some little principles to just kind of balance it, make it more harmonious, and create this rhythm. But we'll cover all those in composition.
We have one Zoom question.
Perfect.
Very good question. I think for many people, they will also have it. So the question is Figma the same designing tool like Canva, or if not, what is the difference?
Oh yeah, we
That's this question in the very beginning.
Okay, but yeah, just shortly.
no. As actually the participants helped me answer, because I haven't worked on Canva, but as much as I know and was taught, it's a quick program to create like artsy things like posters or whatever you need, but it doesn't necessarily have that continuity that Figma can offer. Like Figma can be whatever you really need it to be. You can work small on these designs, or you can build an entire website if you want it.
Like Figma is like really a tool, like pure tool, and there are some shortcuts and guides. But Canva is like a helper. It gives you suggestions and it kind of like leads you a bit. Like there are these kind of nice illustrations and things, and it makes things easier. So you don't have to know like technical things so much.
Yeah.
So in the same time, you can do the same thing, but in the long term, like Canva will always be kind of like quick, kind of like
tool, yeah.
kind of like your body basically, because there's more of these kind of quick suggestions or quick tools.
Well, while Canva is kind of limited.
Yeah, you will get
Precisely.
if you like really grow up in your designer pants, like you're like, oh my god, I really wanted to do this, or you're just passionate about design, you outgrow it. I sometimes use it, but like I always like, oh, this is one design and that's it. there's this continuation is hard, and also like scaling and making more like difficult things. Like first you will learn basic things. Also in Figma, like even if you learn basic things, it's great, but there like you can open up like it's like a Pandora box, like literally like the websites, apps, and how it moves. It's like even like kind of
Animations now,
and it's like endless. And also like maybe you know this the movie that was like nominated Oscars, Flow. It's made in Blender, and that the program is also the same. It's kind of like you can do like small cubes and be funny, and you can make these Oscar movies, and that's what Figma I think is. It's like the Oscar movie for design.
Yeah, exactly. But for those who feel more comfortable in Figma, for example, today is the question as well. There's no need really for you to jump today in Figma if you feel uncomfortable. The file is going to be there that you can look at it.
I also think the quotes and the suggestions will work in Canva, which is great because I think you kind of put everything in like nicely how the design works, and even if you use Canva, you can use the same principles.
Exactly.
And it will look beautiful as well.
But there's one thing I'm gonna add. I think it will go a bit like hand in hand with fashion comment as well. Is although it's really nice to have themes available and to have like design templates available because it does help a lot. But don't just rely on that. Add that little touch of your personality or a touch of that solution in it, because it works for some other problem. And although the problem that you're solving might be similar, it is unlikely that it's going to be the same. So the same, like with fashion, it's really like, you know, creating the same thing yet again and yet again and yet again, or creating something with that little bit of touch that actually makes a difference. All right, creation. Let me, oh my God, okay, done. Let me just, exciting. I haven't really read it that much. I hope I'm not, okay. We're in the next section, so creation, and then we'll have a little break. I think we'll all like need a little coffee, air and coffee. Yeah. If is everyone on the same page? Do we need like some sort of like dance move, or
we can do energize and then like a small break or something. Ooh. It will be boost. Also, those who are watching, they can stand up and.
Actually, would you like to take a 5-minute break now, maybe, and then we can go in?
Maybe.
Yeah, just to have a little move and.
Yeah. We can do like it will be kind of like a little bit of movement, real.
Exactly.
And then you can take like a short mental break or like.
Yeah, let's do, because I think we can let some air in the room. And for those of you joining in Zoom, I hope you can make a cup of tea or something. 5 minutes,
something like that. So
not to maybe 10 past. It gives us to 7.
Yeah, so 7 minutes. We meet here like 10 past 7. We will keep the microphone on, so like maybe just for the fun. But it's too loud. Then nice. Keep it for these few minutes, and then we will be back. And you can also see us what we're doing here. So we'll stretch the legs, and we will be back.
Thank you. Everything.
Yes.
Cool.
Other people agree.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I can see myself.
I can finally see this.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah, you can. I can do the.
Oh, it got blurred. Even if
We have a little reminder.
Okay.
Maybe I can cut something off so we could have more time to do things.
Go.
To get some help, because I haven't been exactly introduced to Figma. I've been just pushed to it, so I don't know so many things.
That's where we all started.
Yeah, it's just so good that now I can see, like, if I have any question, I can just simply see.
Also, I told her about the guidelines that they will help, but like she didn't have the rollers to have the guidelines.
know it exists,
Like, oh, it's so easy to use these guidelines and rollers. They're like linear, like
Yeah,
straight line.
columns, yeah.
Yeah, and then I just saw that she just don't have them, and that's why it's hard for her, and it takes her a very long time to sometimes align these things. And these small kind of like useful shortcuts, they just make life easier. And
Yeah,
it's not about
Available.
I mean, now I do. Now that
Another-
Andrew showed, I have that. But like, yeah.
Another thing, if we will hopefully get to, there's an auto layout, and if things are on the frames, and in auto layout, you can add padding and margins around, so you don't necessarily need to use the.
the auto layout.
Yeah, we'll try and do it.
One question: How did you keep like the selection? Like there was Control M, right? You said, or
Oh, the selection of
like
which.
for example, I did do the shape like R.
Yeah.
Here is another shape, but like how about the frame around it?
F.
Just F, and it's gonna like this whole thing will be a
Yeah.
frame, right?
Yeah.
So now you draw a
And
frame, or you
frame
can
is
choose
like
one.
an artwork which you can export, and it's always like a nice container that's and you can name it.
Okay, now it's and how about the selection?
Section, you mean?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh, no,
section.
don't worry. So for example, it's another nice
Section?
way,
Okay.
yeah, for you to, for example, I saw that you do like ready for design. So you can like
a
have
mark.
that, and then
We
it's
we have a frame.
and then you can also
Yeah, it's a bit
There-
tricky
it-
without the mouse.
oh yeah, I'm so used to.
check, but
And then you can, for example, add like ready. You can change it. So
What is it for though?
But is the section like a kind of like this border that kind of what does the section
what
do?
is it?
organize it.
Organize
So
it.
imagine it's like
just
a
like
folder.
grouping.
It's
Yeah,
like a little
so in one
grouping
section
and
you will
folder.
have these few frames or
Yeah.
few items.
And it'll like have this little border around, so you know it all sticks together. So for example, poster for October, all of them can be put nice. Like,
it's
There's
one
one Halloween
section.
poster.
yeah, and when it's ready, you can that's for dev, but you can just change it when it's like ready for dev. It means that it's ready for like.
Section is
Nice,
something we
thank
didn't
you.
use at all.
Just one question. What do you suggest when it comes to lagging? Because sometimes one simple poster takes me like 1 hour and a half.
And you definitely do it in a new
New
program.
file, right?
You have like a new
Yeah.
file open and just
We will
copy
try now.
element, yeah. That
We'll
we-
try with the new one. We will still have the old file with these million files.
Because like last time I tried to do that Halloween thing, I had to restart it 10 times.
So you can check for computer. Sometimes when you have a battery saver or something, but I think you don't.
I always charge it. Like I
Yeah.
always plug it and then
Yeah.
and then switch on Figma because
But
not apart from
yeah,
that
like
one
these
more.
big files because we have old file for our posters.
I can maybe make a new file and then I can. Oh, great! Amazing. Okay, then I can work there.
And we will still have the backup folder.
Yeah, of course. That would be useful. Great. Okay.
It was like good time to reorganize.
I mean, it has so much. So
It's fun. Yeah, it's cool
Thank
to
you for
learn
doing
some
this.
new stuff. Like it's hard to learn something you don't know, so it's good that someone just shows it exists. Like the
Okay.
sections and.
But
they're, like,
this button is my
try-
favorite, to be
I
honest.
know,
Like
mine
this
too.
is how I
Which
got
one
the.
is it?
I mean, you have
Command 4.
yeah, Command 4, and that's where I got the image tracer. If you need something like cutter, yeah, like basically anything. If you need something, you just like Google it,
Yeah,
search it, and
essentially.
it just pops in. So
Yeah,
it's just so good.
Sometimes though, it's you really need to know what it's called, because I think I misspelt it. Or like you write a tool that you know, like there's a touch tool, but maybe there it's like different.
Plugins and
Ah,
the
it's just
widgets.
this thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it
It's the
looks like
same, yeah.
a few
Action.
tools.
Yeah,
actions.
actions.
Yeah. Control
But
K.
it's,
So it's like a set
has
of things it does for you. Like
Yeah,
you don't have to
exactly.
do it manually,
Yes.
step by step. Like I know we had to like trace images, and it would take so much long time. Like like this last one simple.
No, I didn't do that. I did exactly like
I
this.
told her maybe like search for easier ways than the pen tool because
I know how to do it manually, but it would have taken so much time with the rules, so I have killed myself.
it's very, very painful. Things, small shapes.
Yeah.
But these, yeah, widgets are actually very cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they are there.
I think I'm just gonna, sorry, I'm talking to myself probably, like, I think I'm gonna, I might,
I know that people like to talk, but I will tell them that maybe we can talk after the workshop and
But
they
where
can
do you
basically
work?
come closer.
at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, like, how do you know so much about this?
Oh.
Like, maybe you like have so much experience in this field.
Well, yeah, for the last 6 years, I worked in this digital education agency, and I was the creative lead, so I had to work like create storyboards on Figma, Illustrator. Like when I started, we were only like 5 people, so I had to do like most of the creative design, and then I had to like lead a little team. So that's my journey, sort of like. But yeah, now I'm actually looking for a job, so that's yeah, it's actually quite exciting.
Yeah.
Actually, stretch just a
Yeah, of course.
little stretching. Oh my god, actually I didn't realize that.
Oh, well, okay, yeah, you really needed that, huh?
Like little, yeah. But how are you? Everyone's okay? Hi, how can I help? Oh, design. Okay, cool.
And I try to make something.
Oh, okay.
A lot of things.
Oh, nice. Cool. And what would you like to? Oh, I love you more than stars in the sky. Oh,
It's
that's
just
nice.
kind of journaling or something.
Oh, nice. And you do it on Figma. And do you save? Do you export every day, or is there something that you need help with?
Yeah, I think I am so sick.
Oh, you're sick.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I think I have to take this medicine, but you know, I really have to go during the.
Oh no, if you don't feel well, go home. You can send me a message if there's anything that I can help you with. Ask for my email address, or I can give it to you. And then just like send me a message. At the moment, I'm looking for jobs. So I have plenty of time to get back to you. And when you feel better, maybe you can share something, and I can help you. Yeah. Do you want me to? I'll write down my email address. Okay. So you can work on your design, and then if you ever need something, go home and get well. Yeah.
And you can just.
Great.
No, the thing I wanted to see is if you
What a lovely.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I'll edit a little
well,
bigger.
there are
So
some places where you try to do that and it's like,
oh yeah.
what do you want? Yeah. Done filming your video?
That's my email. Feel free to send me whatever you want me to look at. Reach out, or I'm on LinkedIn. I don't have any other social media, but just reach out to me, okay? And I'll help you. And I think Andrea will have the presentation, so you can look at it when you're feeling.
Maybe a tiny bit.
Don't worry, really. It's fine. Like, just go home and get well. Bye. Lovely to see you.
What? Adolia. You are so pretty much back to your phone.
Me?
Want to know like this FIGMA interface is like
I'm like so.
they got like it on the pixel base.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
So, let's go for example. Kalniņa. Yeah, Kalniņa. Actually, it is, isn't it? Okay, so is it?
There's a lot of Lindas.
yeah.
Nice. All right, so this is, let's create like a little,
I have the person who's in it, Linda.
you can let's change color, and then you can, this is in
Linda are
pixels. But there are settings. I think it's not as wide and as like in Illustrator, but this
Okay,
all
yeah.
works in
That's what I'm just
pixels.
thinking about. Okay.
Yeah, it's all in. You can set
Okay.
that. Yeah. The only thing is, as Andrea was already saying, like it doesn't go as small as Illustrator does, so
Oh.
it's a bit more limiting when it comes to like creating assets, especially vectors. I would still use Illustrator, I think.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm
Like
thinking.
for icons and like many things, You can use Figma, but like if you want to do like a nice little design, it's definitely going to be a bit more difficult to do it. So you can import things from Illustrator and then add them.
So like Adobe softwares, these are also like connected. They will sync with the Adobe software.
They won't sync because they're not like the same company that like that fell through. But you can bring it in the SVG,
Okay, just
like
import
Illustrator file. Yeah, just bring it in, and it'll be there as an editable vector,
Oh yeah.
which is really cool, which is very helpful when you need. Oh yes.
By the way, will you leave as soon as the workshop ends, or will you stay here for a few minutes?
I can stay here for a few minutes. Yeah. Yes. All right. Oh my God, it's quarter. Yes.
When you continue, they will also.
Oh yeah. All right. Let me just.
There are many people who are following you on LinkedIn. Check out your LinkedIn later. They sent you a message.
Oh, nice. All right. I'm just gonna share my screen again. Figma. A. See if it works. Oh, where did I? Oh, I didn't show everyone how to zoom things.
Really love the presentation.
Oh, nice. I'm very happy. Oi.
I to make presentations a lot, and when I see something like this, I was like, I want to include it to my presentation too. I love the graph that you made, like seeing what's next. So I think people will not be too stressed out knowing when it's going to end, so they have something to figure it out.
Oh, I'm glad you found.
Would you like some candy?
No, thank you so much. I actually had like the sour gummy worms. So when I came here, all right, it's 20 minutes. So I think I will try and whiz through these two things quickly, and then we can have like the last 20 minutes working on Figma or more.
Yeah.
I'll try and be quick. Yeah, I will.
Try our best.
Cool. All right. Is everyone ready to get back to? Yes? I've just realized I've been like talking, and it's 7:20, but there's actually quite a bit, so I'm going to cut some stuff out so we can have 20 to 30 minutes. That would be ideal to work in Figma. I think that's minimum. So I'm going to be quite vague on some of these things, but stop me if it piques your interest and need some explanation, then we'll go into it. But all right, this is actually what we covered. So as in every poster, as you can see, empowers women, the title there and the QR code, that's the most important message, and it has to stand out. And you can use focus to direct attention. And you know how like in the Western world, we kind of look at the middle of the screen or go to the top left and then follow in like F or a Z form, just to kind of go. So that's also something to keep in mind when you're creating posters. Obviously, it's not going to work for some places and cultures, but again, that's another little bit of research that is on the shoulders of the designer to make sure we look at. And as we already spoke about invitation and demanding attention in designs, I'll show you a little example. But even here, can you see what's done here with a little person?
Using a binocular, I'm not sure how it's called, but they're zooming in to see here.
Yeah, but it's aiming at the title. So it's a very subtle thing, and you might not see it in the first time, like around when you see posters, but a lot of the times you see people gazing somewhere. So you see the person, you're like, oh, where's the person looking? Or she has a binocular or whatever, telescope, and it's pointing a certain direction. So you're like, oh, I'm gonna focus on where that illustration is aiming. And another quote, but this is a good one, Don Norman is, oh my God, like the human-centered design god. But it's a really good one because that's true. Good design really can be seamless, the same way as a great customer experience can be almost like a noticeable because it's just so good and we appreciate it. But once something is bad, well, you definitely notice it's bad. So the same goes for design. And I think this is a little first little example. So what are your thoughts on these two posters?
To have quick comment about good design you don't see and the bad producing. The same thing in project management.
Oh, yes.
When it's good, you don't hear a word and like
I know.
and then goes smoothly. But when it's bad, you hear all about it.
Yeah, I know. That's so true in so many things. But once we now recognize it, we can always make sure that, for example, someone that we collaborate with does something good. Make sure you say that. Like these little encouragements and kind words really do go a long way when things go well. But yeah, no, it's okay. So as you can see, like, if you squint for the poster on your left-hand side, does it feel clear? Does it guide your attention? It's like, is the
and sport
Yeah.
are pretty much really visible.
yeah,
I mean, it seems like there are not much words there, but it's almost like you don't need words to understand what's going to be happening, I guess, because it's just so visible in general. But that one may, like somebody said, too much information. Everything is just together, and it's hard to understand
And
what's
we
going to
cannot know
happen.
what's important, what's happening.
yeah.
Everything is too crowded.
That's like an information overload.
And
It is,
also,
yeah.
in the left side, you can see like it's about sport, and then the picture, the illustrations are like basketball, cycling.
Yeah, like
It complements it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even needed to understand
So
what's there.
It's interesting
Yeah.
that both of them are like red and blue, but one just is too aggressive red and blue, and the other one is like more peaceful.
it takes
Yeah.
attention because it's too bad.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah. So when we were talking about like the poster on the right, it's demanding your attention, but it's a cognitive overload. You're like, where do I look? I start reading that and be like, well, but that title doesn't make sense. Do I read that one? But that doesn't make sense. I can't really see the
I
letters.
don't even want to read anything.
I know exactly. So this is people. Yeah. No, but that's that coach. People ignore design that ignores people. Great example of it. You just wouldn't like be like, oh, I'm just gonna look for something else.
Yeah.
And here you can see that it complements each other. The little illustration, it's on point. If someone added there, like, I don't know, a lion and it said Festival dello Sport, it would make like a whole people, what? Again. So all these little elements. And yeah, you can see how like the artsy creativity definitely is in there.
like designs.
Yeah, amazing. All right, so we are going into view of these little design principles, but I'll try and be quick so we can actually implement them when we get in FIGMA. But create contrast for emphasis. We'll actually, I don't think I'm going to read this. We'll just go through and experience it. Learn ways to increase contrast. That's another question for you. So here you can see that the contrast is created like it's a different shape, but it kind of feels like it's still parts of the same family because the size is very like similar. The shape is different, but they feel like siblings. They don't feel like, I don't know, distant relatives. So exactly.
Common characteristics, that's why.
So that's
It's like a puzzle, and like it matches the missing piece. Something like
exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's rounded. So all of these things you answered. I was about to ask you a question. What other ways of emphasis you can do in focus? So you said like slightly different shapes, the colors. You notice the rounded edges, and that's perfect. That's a little detail that some might not see, but once you start working more, the subtle tones, how they complement each other, those are all things. So, for example, if there's somebody asked about the design when there's a lot of elements, you can see there could be a lot of elements, but see how the rhythm of this emphasis and all those little squares, like it makes sense. So the one thing that you really want to focus, it can be done subtly, not like in the poster before where it's like, oh my God. So again, this is trial and
I think very often it's actually going the opposite direction, not making, not giving the focus to one thing, all things that are similar. It's actually the opposite when there are so many things and each of them is so different, putting them in like some kind of frame or something that's similar, that to emphasize one thing.
yeah.
I think
even if this would be like an Instagram
Post, yeah, or,
post,
yeah, the grid. Yes, sorry.
like more personal grids, they do not look like this. They're not look unified like those green shapes.
Yeah.
They're more like each different shape.
Yeah.
The harder thing is to pull away shapes, pull away colors, pull away contrasts and compositions.
Yeah.
And to leave something that is like unified, and that one thing actually does stand out. I was listening to an interview with this stylist, Cynthia Seletka.
Okay.
She said, like, read the book more, less is more. And she said Latvian designers put everything into one shot, one picture. There's just so many things. And I did not understand at first what does she mean, like there's too much of everything. But then I look at those like pictures visually. Yes, she has way less color, way less shapes. Everything is just less. And here you also provide something less. You say one thing is has focus.
Emphasis, yeah.
Yes, in life, I see the opposite. It's actually much harder to create this something that is less than to put focus on something that's one.
That's interesting. Does any of you know how to like answer or comment on it? How would you do that? No, that's a really good question.
The point was that you have made this so nice, but to get there, it's quite work to get there where this drawing that you have is.
I feel like sometimes it's hard to be simple.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is true. But again, it doesn't. Oh, sorry. Yes. Let me get. It took me a while to get to this place, and there are still many things that I don't know. But trust me, I look back at some of my designs and some of my work and some of my presentations and concepts that I've done for certain companies, and I'm like, oh my god, what was I thinking? Oh, I want to add all this noise, all of this busyness. But again, I think, you have to look back and be like, okay, that was part of the learning process. And once you feel a bit more comfortable with design in general, you'll be like, okay, actually, there's other ways to do it. But there's no clear formula of when that's going to happen. And some designers are just so different, and their designs will always be louder and like that. So again, everyone's like individual journey. So if this kind of minimalism is something that you're interested in, then that's probably going to guide the way you go about designing something. Someone might do differently, but yes, it can be a challenge, because sometimes also simplifying things too much can make things just meh, be like, yeah. If there was,
Find it just going like the more, of course, the more you create, the more you see with which elements you are playing. In the beginning, you don't really feel all those elements. You don't feel the space or the proportions or the thickness of certain things. Or when you start looking at fonts, you see, oh, there are so many shapes and things. But before you were looking at fonts, they were like just letters to you, like a little bit different, but letters. So you go into this world and you start to see, oh, it's like going into the wood. Like there are so many trees there.
Again, there's a great quote: the more you learn, the less you know. So true.
Yes.
I think, like, we all start somewhere, and then you start learning more and be like, oh my god. Then there's like philosophy of color, like all these rules on fonts, all of these rules on like composition, on white space, and it keeps going. And I can't even imagine what like architecture and stuff like that. And it's like all of those things. It's just a lot. But we have to start somewhere. Again, the humble journey. Yeah, but that was a good point. I will also like think about it more in a future, and if I think of something new, I'll come back to you.
I can add.
Oh, nice.
I feel like the more you know the user or the client, this makes your filtering process much easier. how I can give my finance example. For example, I look for the financial reports of websites, right? And there will be title and bunch of text and just one graph, but I need this graph only, not the text, right? Like bunch of text.
Yeah.
And when you try to zoom in the graph, it's still not like, doesn't cover much and it's very small, not much visible. And if they remove those tags, just leave the graph, but not leave the graph itself, but make it interactive.
Yes.
So you cannot just see a 8 years chart or a line graph or whatever, but you can go back to actual 197th year or something like that. This gives more to the user with less noise in the background. So the more you understand the user, the easier it becomes to filter. So that's where the expertise comes, I guess.
True. Like in every single thing that we're learning, that's true to that. Oh, sorry. I am aware that it's already 7:30, so I know the time goes quickly. But again, like one example. But again, if you squint, and you see like Hungary, e-bazaar, it tells you what and where. Works
But
pretty cool.
just one thing about food, I feel like it's better to include the images of the food because especially hungry people like me and people like me, I do appreciate the picture. I was like, this makes me more hungry, so I'll order more.
Maybe it's not clear, but maybe it's
Like just
be like
different design, but like if it's a menu, I really think pictures play a good role.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So see, even in this, like it again shows really well what kind of user you are. Maybe for me, the yellow poster would be more because I'm always hungry. So if I see food, I will like eat food all the time. So I choose with the poster that's like a bit more subtle because otherwise, like I'll just be eating all the time.
Do you know how I would judge it actually?
Tell me.
For example, the right one looks very cheap, so the design isn't much for the effort. If it's cheap, that means that that person or the employee or the restaurant doesn't pay much attention.
There's a counterpoint to always this. Maybe the food is good and they give the money to the food, not to the
Oh.
And also, you have to understand who are you targeting because if you're a student, then of course you're gonna choose this because it looks cheap. Like let's be honest.
Also, pretty much in India, most of the posters or anything about food looks exactly same.
And I have so many friends that would choose the right side.
Yeah.
One of our
Because you can see the actual food.
Exactly.
I have friends who like go to 10 places before they choose. If it's not appetizing, thank you, bye. Not appetizing, thank you, bye.
Yes.
Crisscrossing the street 10 times until they find exactly what they want to eat.
I totally agree. Yeah.
Pictures though.
Wait, sorry.
Trust the pictures.
Me neither. My friends are different.
Yeah. Different target audience and other things. Yeah. And what you might need to like, I don't know, put through the little letterbox and I don't know, Zipne accounts or like the center or somewhere else, that it could all be like very different. We do have like Figma time, but I thought I'm going to quickly run to, okay. I'm going to go a little further so we could have more time in Figma and just give you a few little principles before we pop in, because those will come really handy for us. Is everyone on board? No one's too tired? All good? All good? Yeah?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Actually, if you can see my screen. No, that's the, oh, wait a minute. That's going to be the practice file, not the one I was after. Oh, I have the little Zoom thing on top. All right. So again, like with the face guiding the attention, like here, for example, you see the woman and just kind of looking at the text. It's all like in harmony. And the little kiddo like, oh, look up. But imagine, let's press reflect and move her like, it totally changes the entire like conversation. Be like, where is she looking? I want to see where she's looking, but I can't see it. Exactly. Like, no. And the same, like if like, yeah, exactly. And then like if this was like, oh, sorry, I connected like, maybe because like he's pointing out, but if it was a different message, you'd still expect something to be right here because there's so much like negative space. It's the perfect place to put like some sort of, like if it's like, look at the stars or something. So again, like directions, gaze, and stuff like that is super useful. And another little thing, we already spoke about like designing for ease, but direct rather than decorate, that's another thing that we need to learn as designers. Like, don't make things look pretty just for the sake of it looking pretty. Better less and then build something meaningful than add a lot and then maybe it doesn't really serve that purpose.
And it's very thin boundary.
Oh, yes. Oh, it is.
You can check where there's like a point to certain elements, and then it's just where you like feel you want something in it.
Yeah.
So it's you kind of need to deep dive in yourself to understand where does this feel come from.
Yeah.
To understand like what purpose it serves. Because
I
sometimes you need something like you
More, yeah.
initially put it just to be pretty,
Yeah.
and discover, oh, this is like a trademark.
Yeah.
And also vice versa, you put something and realize that is just a decoration.
Thinking about the complementary, but also one thing that I'm going to say, like if you're stuck, look around you. There's so many of us. Like, don't be afraid. I know it's sometimes so intimidating to go to like a senior designer or like I don't know, it doesn't need to be just design or like a CFO or something and be like, oh, I need help with this. But that's how we go ahead. And sometimes like when you look at something for a long time, like I was doing this presentation, I was like, I actually no longer know what's like, if it's all like this saying what. And I'm also actually like font blind. I find it really difficult to see the differences in fonts. So always ask someone else to look. So it's okay to ask someone else to look at your work. That's how you're going to spot some mistakes and be like, oh, actually the balance could be improved. Be like, oh my God, I didn't see it. I did so many characters. And I would show it to my colleague and be like, the head is like twice as big. And be like, oh my God, like I worked on it so long. I didn't even realize that everything was out of proportion. Like the hands were like below the knees or something. And be like, oh yeah, that's not humanly proportioned.
Actually, this is what happens to me most of the time with Andra.
Yeah.
Because like I look at the poster for so long and I just know it in my heart that if I'm gonna send it to Andra, she'll be like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And I'm like, okay, well.
Did you try to enter it in ChatGPT?
I did a couple of times.
It usually says almost the same as I do.
It does say all of it, but you know what's so weird, Andra? Most of the time, you still say something differently than ChatGPT, especially when it comes to like donut poster. He didn't even tell me that it wasn't aligned because I did send it to him.
Like maybe doesn't say some things, but it says like big
Some of
things.
the things that you point,
Like,
for
I don't
sure
know. I
didn't.
think because I have looked at posters for 10 years, and I look at them and I just see those millimeters.
Yeah.
That 1 millimeter on the bottom, like, and it just in my dreams I see this one crooked
Little thing.
pixels, as you said.
I think that just points like how human touch is still so much relevant than AI. Like as much as AI is so great, don't get me wrong, but still like humans' perspective still is like
Of course.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
At that human. That's true.
It can give you ideas like when
Yeah.
you're stuck, but some stuff when you're not able to see, human touch is always better, I think.
Can't really feel the feeling, but we're feeling and step back. Exactly.
Either like for an hour and a half, usually it's like 3 hours of painting.
And then you just
Also, why I love Figma, because in Canva you can't really zoom out. Like I don't know, like maybe there is, but like if in Figma I love the feeling when I zoom out, I see all of the project. And like, oh, and you can see which elements are too crowded or not crowded, and
yeah.
so you just like see the relations and the
Zooming out,
feeling if tight or
metaphorically
not
and
tight.
physically.
Yeah.
And painting, yeah, you usually are asked to step back and even turn it upside down. You can
Just see a different.
computer upside down because then
That's cool.
symmetries.
Yeah.
And then you turn it upside down and it's just like flops because the balance or symmetry is not there.
Yeah.
Always when the professor came, like, let's step back.
Yeah.
First thing she said. And even in drawing, there when people learn how to draw when they're grown-ups,
Yeah.
one of the tasks is to copy some kind of drawing when it's upside down. Then you don't make some kind of personal connection with the portrait or something you're drawing.
Yeah.
It's just lines.
Yeah.
And somehow your eye measures the lines better
When
than you recognizing that you're drawing
interesting.
like one row or a president.
Oh, I wish I could do that. Yeah.
Like person, and then it's easier to draw.
Yeah. Nice. I am very wary of the time. So although there are things I do want to go through, why don't we jump in Figma just so we could start? Yeah, and I will send this, and maybe once you're in Figma, I can just put these few slides in the background, because is everyone in Figma? Yeah, do they have the little
the last link you sent?
the present
Will show like one link that I think I made a shortcut and just
called the
I will send also on Zoom. I just need to check if
whilst the file is like going, just because we were on this already, like balance in design. Again, this is like a good little
practice.
yeah, sorry.
The one file you sent to me was called practice file poster.
Yes, that's the one.
That's the one we're gonna work with. So I will drop in Zoom and also if you can see this part. So I made a shortcut which is I don't know, some Latvian shortcut a.us/fig01. Like so it's like if you see this small one there and Zoom people Zoom it's like it's not Latvian, but the Latvians use this shortcut a lot. So a.us/fig101.
Is everyone in?
No, just go to internet. Just go to internet.
Like in the search button, just put just things.
So you just write a.
I'll send the link to the chat.
I will send also on chat if.
Oh yeah.
It's only Latvians use it because it means go to in Latvian.
But it's so funny because don't means Uzbekistan.
Oh my gosh. Right, yeah, I know. I will send in the WhatsApp chat.
Big.
Big 101.
Is everyone managing to get in?
Sort of. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Yay, awesome. Thank you.
People got it.
So
this is what I see. So this is what you this is what I see.
So if you could then save a copy for yourself. So practice poster.
I have one simple question. How do you bring those characters? Like there's some astronauts or something. From where do you draw it or you?
Oh, I wish I did.
How
I brought them. Yes, there are different programs where artists can put their creative work. So with the work where I was employed, I could have access to different kinds of vectors and templates. So it's called Adobe Stock. But there are places like FreePic where you can get some free things. Sometimes you need to, like if you use it for someone to see, you might need to reference the artist. But there's an Envato Elements. I'm thinking there's probably Shutterstock, I think. Oh no, maybe that's just for, no, it also has vectors, yeah, for sure. But these particular ones are actually from Adobe Stock. But again, FreePic, Vecteezy have a lot of these artists and you can get them, like if you just work on your computer, you can get them for free, but then be very, very careful where you post them. Even this, please don't share it like to the wide public, because these are, you know, on like my license for those artists, but there's a whole lot of like copyright and stuff that also you need to like keep in mind. But yes, if everyone is in, I know we have 15 minutes, but I think it's a good start for us to kind of get ahead, and at least I'll explain what can be done and needs to be done in here. And then I can see that there's plenty in the presentation that I didn't get through, but I do find is useful. So if you give me a few days, I can maybe kindly share it with you, and you can share it with everyone, so you can just look at it at your own time. Sorry if I spoke a bit too much, and let the best for last. Yeah. So, okay, everyone's in. This is fantastic. So I created 3 separate pages. Oh, I can see. Yeah, actually, there's plenty of people. It might, yeah, it might. That's why, like, if you download your local copy, it might lag less, because it is possible it would. But 25 people. File, save a local copy.
Then it's gonna be like private file. So
Yeah.
only for the
Yeah, but 25 people Figma can definitely manage. I just didn't know how many are going to be there.
File and directly to completely to our own site, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So there are 3 pages available. One is just starting out. If you don't feel confident in Figma, you haven't really touched it much, then we can start there. The second one is growing my skills, and the third one is ready to create. Now, feel free to go through the pages and pick up the elements that you want. Again, another issue, maybe when there are a lot of people going in, someone can pick up a vector and take it somewhere else. So just make sure you can go on the vector, copy it, and then just paste it where you want it, so everyone can like
actually copy. With which buttons do you copy? What is your favorite?
Command C, Command V, Control. But then, like, if I want a pattern, for example, I will take this little buddy and I will paste it. Ooh, I just wanted this one. Anyway,
My favorite is Alt drag. Then it
Alt drag.
You drag it and it copies new version of the thing you're dragging.
So when you do drag it this way, this is great.
Then you put wherever you like.
But do you know that when you drag it like this with the Alt that you said, and you let it go, and then you press Command or Control D, it keeps going. Yeah. So this is really good if there are like certain steps that you want to do.
It's like duplication shortcuts.
Also, do you?
If you need like a lot.
I see that we are able to drag the complete box, but not a single element inside.
Yeah,
maybe we can. Yes, could be. These are in groups. So if you go into your left-hand side panel, can you see where the layers are?
There's a like title called layers, and in the layers there are several different.
And double click, and then I do it like this. Also, it might be that there's a constraint added. Oh yeah, there's definitely. Oh, auto layout is added. I'm so sorry. That was so.
Auto layout. Because every time I see it, it just like messes.
It does.
Vector illustrations or it's
so.
Keeping it together.
Can you see me? Yeah, auto layout is amazing, and I'm gonna also try and like get to it as quickly as possible. But normally I would use it like for text, but I did it here so it would be organized. So see here, it has like these little shapes. I'm just gonna toggle it off. And now you should be able. Oh, yes, it's on the group. I'm just taking little, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna just take this, for example, take this little buddy. I'm gonna copy it with Alt here. And then I will, for example, add moon. I don't know, just some random stuff. And then I can click this toggle auto layout on and see it kind of tidies it up. But another wonderful thing is I can then change the little space in between the gutter.
So you're moving not the illustration, but you're moving spaces and the like.
Right. Exactly. But it also means that I can now add padding. There are constraints now, so that's why like you can
some kind of rules that makes it tidy a bit.
Exactly. This is, I wasn't planning on going in here in detail, but basically it's something to organize all of these boxes.
So you don't have to manually move.
Yeah. Why don't I why don't we go to the just starting out one?
I think it's better to start low.
Yeah, exactly. So for example, let's, the one thing I really wanted you to see, let's do 2 steps. First, let's have a little look at this poster, and if you could tell me like what needs to be improved, what doesn't work here at all. Yes?
Color is not that much visible, so people probably won't gonna recognize that.
Exactly. It's not accessible at all.
Like graph's not ancient, but it doesn't matches the poster's vibe.
Yeah, exactly. That's very good. Exactly. Yeah. All
The color combination is not so good.
yes.
Compliment.
Yeah. And what did you say about the alignment? Mm-hmm.
Ah. And they kind of look.
Also, what they do for work, like lunar geologists, it just looks like all 4 are the speakers. Not they don't specifically mention what, like we cannot see what they do. Is it work or is it another speaker?
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Rest doesn't have, so there's like too many words.
Yeah.
All 4 speakers.
Or like what? Yeah, exactly. So this is where the proximity, like chunk the things that relate together. So for example, this is where grouping can go in well. So let's take your example and let's align it left. And now let's take Katie Joy, lunar geologist, and let's group her, for example. And you can bring it together. You can see. So now it kind of comes together and we can see the same
Speakers, because it's
yeah. That was just a thing to
Do you
mess
make
with.
it left alignment or straight alignment?
Sorry?
How did you make it a left alignment or the straight in?
Oh, yes. So yeah, this poster, I just added these crazy things that are for you to change and fix. So the more mistakes you find, the better we can make. So left alignment. So basically, I made this as a little group at the moment. And see, you have all this position on here. So I can do it to the middle of the page. Yeah.
Where is
But
the position thing? We are not able to see.
okay. Can you see the little toucan on top? You can click on me.
Are you in Figma? Because in Zoom we can see this right sidebar. It's like light wide bar with many kind of options and small buttons and toggles.
If you click on my icon in Figma, the little toucan, it will follow me.
Okay,
so you'll be able to see where I am.
Yeah,
so
okay.
here I have selected Katie Joy, lunar geologist. And there are all of these typography things that can be done. So here it's align left. Here you can, well, it's a really short name and actually, let's just do the little text box wider. So see, it's aligned now to the middle and you can do it to the side.
Perfect, I got
So
it.
this is for typography and there are a lot of things that you can change on typography. So we'll go through as much as we can. But here, I really wanted you to know what creating a style means. So if you're creating a poster, it means that you don't need to manually input the style and the color, what you're going to use for your poster over and over again. So for example, here, Katie Joy, I just spoke about typography here, but if you click, there are many things to click here, but let's start with the type settings. You can go into the type settings here. This is where you add the bulleted lists. It's not so important for now when you start around here. What you might do is now, let's try and add a style. If we can all practice, like select a little text or write a text on your own somewhere, and then click this little apply, add. There are 2 ways to do it. You can add the little plus. Actually, I've created it already, so we can just amend it. But are you all following? It's okay. I'll go to an emptier side. I'll create a frame. I'll make it white. I'll take a text. Hi, everybody. Yeah. I will detach this for these purposes. So basically, if you saw that, it's because I created a style to help you out already, but it's unnecessary now. Okay, so here it's typography. At the moment, it's on Inter. Don't do titles with this font, for example, or this one, because it would be really difficult. But let's say Helvetica. I don't know. That seems like a really basic one, yeah. So you can increase the size of the font here, or one of my favorite tools ever that can be applied to photography, that can be applied to any shape, is scale. So if you click K on your screen, on your keyboard, thank you. See, like it selected this little thing. That's a shortcut, but that's scaling. And now you can scale it to the size that you need. Less so, it's not that important on font, but if you're working with vectors, you don't want to be doing like these random like increases that like distort the proportion of things.
So you press K?
Oh yes, so I showed it earlier. There's one on Figma, but here you can click this little help and resources and keyboard shortcuts, and you can find everything. I don't like expect you to like, it took a while, you know, to remember, but scale tool is good. All right, so here, if you all type a text, change it to the font that you like somewhere, it doesn't matter. I'll like keep a medium. Then what we can do is we can apply styles. I'll click on that. Can you all follow me? Yeah? And then I will add this little create style. Oh, it's different. Okay, style name. Okay, this will be heading, what size? It's 53. That's definitely always try and use multipliers of 8 or 4 for text, because then it's much easier to align things. And let's say heading 1, because that's usually how, like in design systems and in design in general, when it comes to text, it's heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, 4 being like the smallest and 0 being the biggest. And then you do one for paragraph, and then you can have one for overline, blah, blah, blah. But let's start with the basics. One heading and one paragraph. And create style. See? Yay! There's a little typography. Yeah, create a text. Hello. I'm just going to detach this because I want to show it again. Select the text. Click these little 4 dots.
Next to typography.
Yeah. Can you see? Yeah. Everything's like tiny. And then click this. Yeah, create style. So these are the ones, it looks confusing because it's already in a file. That's why it's great, for example, if you open a totally new file. Actually, I might do that because
no styles.
Yes, it might be easier
You
for the sport, and then you do. Yeah.
And then instead of changing the font, you would just change the style. Like if you want to make it like less important, like this.
Yeah.
Small,
So
small
here,
sub-
here, heading 1, create style. You can also add like description, what it's for, create, and it's here. So now, for example, if I choose like this random font, and I'm like, oh, I actually want it to be exactly like that one. I go and I click it in here, and I do, plop, and it changes. Yeah, that's exactly, yeah.
Headings
And you can, exactly. Again, it will be much easier when you start in your own file where it's blank and you can choose the colors that you want, choose the fonts that you want, and then you build. Try and like for your starters, do like no more than 2 fonts on the poster. I'm sorry? Design fonts in Figma, good question. I actually do not know. I don't think.
I think you can draw them, but you need like special tool that kind of like says, oh, this symbol is this symbol. Maybe like Adobe tool.
Like or like coding stuff.
You can. It's more like programs. Yeah,
You can
there needs
design
to be system, yeah. But you can like draw some cool fonts, like cool shapes.
Just one question.
All right, and then I'll
like zoom it in or have
Oh
press
yeah,
K?
zooming.
Like I mean like just for one vector.
Scaling.
K is for scaling, yes.
And then you just press shift and then you the big button.
Yes, and see, like on the side, exactly. And then if you want like one by one, then don't press scale, just go up and down. Because basically when you hold shift, it goes in like incremental, like things like 10, 10, 10. But do you all know actually how to zoom in? So that's what you said, like, oh, it's so cool that it's so far. But then, oh, I keep always mixing the 2 things. It's shift 1, it goes straight to the selection.
Shift 1?
Yeah. And then, for example, see, I selected that red little dot, and I press shift 2, and it goes right to that tiny thing. Again, you might not remember it immediately. It'll come with time because, yeah, so shift 2, you can go deep into the element. So it'll go like straight into this particular thing that I've selected. But if you just want to go to the screen, press shift 1, and it'll go like 100% view. But for some of you that feel comfortable like with a rolling mouse, a lot of the times I just go like this on my little keypad. So again, it's a matter of preference, but basically that's the thing. So we created a little style for font, and we can amend all of these little things up here. But for example, let's copy and paste the fonts. Now in Figma, it pastes in front unless you do the alt and drag. But I want this to be a different font, and it's like that now. So here I'm going to write hi. So see this little thing here? This is to detach the style. Then it goes back to normal. It's not attached to this one. I can change.
If you keep it linked, it will change the other one. But now you want to change
but
the
now,
link.
exactly. And I want it to be like this. Yeah, crazy thing. Let's scale it up, for example. And then you can do the same thing. You can add that as a style. But that's for font. So remember, heading, paragraph, or body text, whatever you like. But we can do the same thing for color. And that's probably the most useful thing ever, because how many of you can actually keep that many hex numbers in mind? And although you think you're selecting the same color, tiny little difference you can see. So I really like the tool eyedropper tool. So let's say I'm gonna just do another box and change it to this color. If I press I on the keyboard, the letter I, it's for eyedropper tool. And I can go like, and it changes to that color. So that's, for example, you really want like the photo on your poster to match the color. So you can eyedrop the color from the poster, and that way do another little nice harmony by like bringing the colors together. Like in a practice file, you see like the moon, all of those colors are so like, there's a dissonance. So you can find a way to like create a nice color palette to use. And that's for you.
We do it in Instagram stories.
Yeah, fantastic. True.
How do you create undertone of different colors? Like for you remember you had this example like where green cubes like?
Yes. Where do I choose the palettes, for example?
Yeah, kind of, so that all of them are under like same.
Similar. Okay. So there are a few ways. I use actually a website called Coolors with COO.
Like colors, but
yeah, but cool colors. Yeah, it's. Do you all have a few minutes? I don't want to hold you for longer if you need to go. Yeah.
go through stage probably.
Yeah.
If you need to run.
I totally understand if you need to run. Like I really underestimated how long this would take. But basically, to answer the question, I use the coolers. However, you could go into here. And this is hue, saturation, brightness. And that can like change bits. But I really see like it goes lighter, but it kind of stays within the same. Yeah. But also, if you go, I don't know if coolers actually, no, I don't think they, we'll see if they have plugins. Oh, coolers. Perfect. So see, you can run, I don't know how it works, but you can generate thingies. Yeah, but you can also probably have tones. I'm not sure whether it's possible in this particular plugin, but what I have there is the main color, and then I go like lighter and darker, because that's also in design really important. For example, you have a title and a body text. It's nice, for example, the title is white, and the body text, you want to mute it a little bit, because you know it's like the secondary thing. It's not the main message. So put the opacity, transparency, opacity, I always get them to get a mixed to 90. It'll be a little bit muter. Yeah, 10% less. But I really wanted to ask you to do the same thing in styles with color as well. So you can select the color. See these little things again? Yeah. And then click yes. And then I would call this primary. I hope this is not too good. You can come next to me if you like. Yeah. Come, see, and you add create style. So see, now you have this little side panel, and once you will complete it with more and more heading and like styles, it'll get more and more. And the same with colors. Now we have primary 500s. You can add this as secondary 500s.
Workspace, right?
Yes.
It's not gonna transfer you to if you want to select a new one.
No, it won't. However, if you needed to, there's a way to do it. Yeah, so that's another thing. If you work in collaboration, be like, I work on this poster, this is the color theme, let me share it all with you. And then you have it all. So everyone's on the same page, no color is different. So, all right, we know how to add textiles and color styles. And now let's do, for example, a useful thing to have is a plugin called Hero Icons, for example. And you can have like, oh, actually the event is happening at this and this time. So I'll just drag this little, yay.
We like this.
Yeah. So you can,
press again? I'm sorry.
oh, your favorite tool, Command Control K. And then you can find plugins. Again, like this is hero icons, but there's, oh my God,
Like
so many.
Some person has made it basically. It's
Exactly.
Like called it something, and if you know how it's called or just back
Yeah.
and maybe find it, then you can use these pre-made
Exactly.
icons or whatever with it.
And let's, I will detach this. Let's do it as like 50 signs. I just want to see how you can create also a mini, no? Dicks. Oh, we can, I don't want to hold you for too long. So I'm happy to come in for part 2 because like really like it's just been
This will settle in the brain.
Yeah.
Like
Can
But
we
my
change the color of this date and everything, the side icons?
oh yes, you can. So a lot of the times when you bring in things from the wild, they will come in, see in the frame already. So I will just drag in into my frame and just get rid of that because it will just linger around. So now I click on it and you can see the color here. So that's a stroke because it's a line icon.
You use scale tool a lot, you have to go back to move tool, because when you're moving things you can change colors, but when you're scaling somehow you can't change the colors when you're scaling. Though sometimes they disappear, the colors, so you don't see where to change them, but because you're in different mode and you should go back to the
So for example, in here as well, the icon, we could use the scale tool, or you can just click on it and there's a layout. And see this little thing? If we click on it, I want that icon to be...
Those are pixels, right? Like
yes.
Very small. Like
20 by 20. And it scaled properly, like it increased proportionally, yeah. If I didn't have this and I selected and I said like 50, this is what would happen. And it's really easy to make these little mistakes. I've done them plenty.
And also they give you power that you can like do it precise always. Yeah, that you literally, that's the difference between Canva. Like you can stretch it, but you can also tell it, please be 40 or please be 100, and it will be like change. Yeah, and it's gonna be like not like in millimeters, but like pixels, like 100 or 200. And that helps you when you want to make precise things, or someone has told you, can you make this poster 180 by 180 and use 500 pixel these circles. And then you know where to find these numbers.
Is everyone on board? Yeah. And this is probably going to be one of the last things I'll show you for this part one. I'm happy to come back if you'll want it for some other one, but I spoke about auto layout. And I created this little, like I added the little icon, dates, and I'm just gonna click, ooh, see what happens. So there are these different little things that you can make it arranged.
Like a template of
exactly. And a lot of the times it's exactly this is going to happen, be like, what? Why is this not working? And trust me, on the days like today when I'm tired, I'm like, oh, I don't know why it doesn't work. But that will basically help you like align everything nicely. But auto layouts, I use a lot on text, but what I wanted to show you, you can have this, for example, date, I'll use it on like 5 posters and I'll need to reuse it. I know this is not a great component, sorry, I did it just to show. And see, you can do create component, look. I don't know why I do these sound effects. So it has this little thingy, see, it's now a component. And I will call it date. So now I can go into assets and see you have libraries, and I can see, oh, there are these things connected. And I have a little component.
Also, it's in this space.
Yes, because you can save it as a library and then import that library into another file.
In the same project have these frames, like several posters,
then it'll just be there.
Banners. And each banner has a date. You can use it as a
yeah.
You should have fun.
And
we know.
Now we know.
Now we know it's fun.
And you see, I brought it in, but now when I go here, the main component, this is like the mother component. So
Someone's changed.
yes, see?
What is very simple actually.
Yeah. And but then, for example, if I do want to make it different, it means like you can do the same thing. You can detach this if you wanted to. Or then in the next time, what we can talk about, if this is really useful, create one component that says date, and then we can make a little variation that says time, and that'll just change the icon. So the possibilities are crazy, yes. But for now, really just try and like wrap your head around the text, the color, and then a practice poster. Once you go in, I know like download your own like file so it's easier. So with the first one, just try and improve it. So here, for example, we want 90 or 100, or you might want to do something different.
Big and small.
Yeah, or you want to move it, or I can decide to add auto layout here. Ooh. And then you can see within auto layout, it does, yeah, but it's easier to maneuver.
Automatically.
Yeah, exactly. It can sometimes make it tricky because you bring in things, and adding extra things in an auto layout that's already existing is like, can be a lot. But when you have time, just please try and improve this. You might want to like, see, this is the padding. Maybe let's add 16, or maybe we wanted like, oh, sorry, I actually didn't need to do that. This is the first one. Maybe you want to keep it next to it. Maybe you want to keep it here. Maybe you want to change the color altogether. Maybe free is actually not necessary. So make these tiny little changes, like see chunking, balance. Just go wild. It doesn't need to be perfect. You'll learn Figma by trying, error, trying, error. Just move things around. And if you want to start something different here, you can also just drag it in. See how it gives you like these little guides of where you are, for example. And the last thing, which I promised, layout guides. I can't express it too much. It's such a great thing to have. So now it's on a grid, but what you can do is add columns and then change it to, let's say, 12. Normally, like in web-based products, 12 is the amount of columns that happens. And then you never want to put text on the edge, because that's just, it needs space to breathe and needs balance. So always try and leave a margin, let's say 40 for this. So if I now drag a box here, I can like arrange it.
Kind of sticks to these columns.
It sticks, but it's much easier to see where things can be aligned. So it's much easier to create this balance.
But they're like,
You can create proportions that way also.
Proportions, yeah, and just snapping things. Because again, when you have two fonts next to each other, try and align them. Line heights might sometimes be different, but align things to each other. People like,
what's this function called?
this one, layout, yeah, here in the layout guide. And there are many things that, yeah, and you can also save layout guides as saved styles as well.
Use the guidelines and rulers, but like guidelines are very tiny and thin, and you have to make them like add them. But these are like very proper. It was
okay.
nice.
I'm so sorry. There's plenty more I wanted to share, but I can see I'm tired. You're tired, and
Questions like when you registered in Loma, you can respond to that email, and kind of even if you have a question, just ask there. You send your questions. So, and thank you for joining also online.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
For the Zoom, I will say bye to everyone.
Thank you so much, and
We will update you when the next part will be, hopefully.
Sorry.
Have a good evening.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.